I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order, November 26, 2019. Roll call.
Councilmember Foster. Gross.
Here.
Gill.
Present.
Dodds.
Present.
Goodrich.
Here.
Okay, all council members minus Megan Foster, who's on a family trip, are present, as is the mayor and city clerk and city administrator and legal staff and several city staff in the audience. I would entertain are we going to amend the agenda?
Yeah, we're removing items 5D and E,
Yep.
correct, Kevin?
5D, D, and E, okay.
So I would entertain a motion with to approve the agenda with that correction.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Gill, I don't know who got that.
Dodds.
Dodds, seconded by Dodds. To approve the agenda less items 5D and E. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now is the time, item 4 on the agenda for citizen comments. This is the time if anyone would like to speak to us tonight about an item that's not already on the agenda. Anyone like to talk to us tonight? Huh? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 5, which is the Redhawk Subdivision. This is a residential development located west of Coral Ridge Avenue and north of the Iowa Medical Classification Center, consisting, when it's fully built out, of 9 multi-unit apartment buildings and 1 clubhouse. And our building official, Jim Kessler, is going to give us a report and a P&D report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you said, we're looking at this subdivision that's north of the Classification Center and west of Coral Ridge Avenue. So what we have on the screen now is actually the preliminary plat for the subdivision. We have 3 platted lots. Lot number 1 is actually land use residential and zoned to an RPUD. And then we have lots 2 and 3 and lots A through E. Those are commercial use and will be developed as commercial lots in the future. Lot number 1 will consist of a residential development. It will have 9 multi-unit apartment buildings and 1 clubhouse structure. Let's kind of move along here to the site plan. So it will have the 9 units you see here as apartment houses, some 36-unit apartment, multifamily apartments, and some 42-unit apartment houses. It will have the clubhouse here, and it will have a stormwater pond here that will act as stormwater detention. These buildings will house the total amount of bedroom units in these houses are 366 units. There will be 285 one-bedroom units, 81 two-bedroom units, for a total of the 366 units. The one-bedroom units, and we can go back up here one. One-bedroom units will average in a size, I got lost here, from 688 square units in size to 866 square units in size. So there will be a combination in sizes of the one-bedroom units. The 2-bedroom units are all 932 square feet in size, and each building has underground parking for 30 cars. There is an additional parking for 310 vehicles on the surface lots. There are many amenities to this site. Before we get into the amenities, though, I will show you, this is the look of the apartment buildings. They are all hardy plank siding, stone veneer, and full-size brick on all of the buildings. This is kind of an end view of the buildings. As I said, the buildings all have underground parking, so this is kind of a representation of how you would get to the underside of the buildings. Just other views of the buildings. You can see the stone veneer here, you can see the brick here, and the rest of this is hardy plank siding. They do have pitched roofs of asphalt shingles. So if we get out of this and go to here, I can show you some of the amenities. This is what the clubhouse will look like. Once again, we have stone veneer, brick, hardy plank siding, and the asphalt shingled roof. There's some more views of the clubhouse, as you can see the other sides of it. Kind of a reputation or representation here of where there is a swimming pool in the back of the clubhouse. This is another view of that, so you can see the swimming pool and some, outside chairs around it. A bocce ball court will be on site. Electric car charging station will be on site. This is in views of the interior of the clubhouse. Several different views of that. There's a workout center. This is actually outside with the swimming pool again. Kind of a study area or a conference area in the clubhouse, whichever it may be used for, which is kind of unique to building nowadays. It will have a mail room where all the mail will be delivered and packages will be delivered. They won't be delivered to individual units, or it won't be an outside delivery. It'll be indoors, so that there's no chance of mail being lost or theft of mail. More workout rooms, coffee bar. This kind of shows you a ultimate turf grass. This will be in the dog park, and this is kind of a self-absorbing grass for the dog park. Other views of the dog park, they not only have a dog park, but they have some exercise facilities for the dog, kind of a exercise run for them. Then they have the bocce ball courts. There's some outdoor fire pits. And that's the extent of the amenities. Just kind of an overall view of the outside. So anyhow, that's a close-up of it. This was on P&Z at the last P&Z meeting, and there were 4 members present, and they all voted for a recommendation for the council approval.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Item C is a public hearing on this project, on the PUDB site plan. I would like to open the public hearing. Are there any comments? Mark, is there anything that you want to say?
I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mark Avis. I'm the principal of Redhawk Multifamily. And I'd like to basically open this up if you have any questions. The story, uniqueness of this project is I've done projects like this, non-student, in Champaign, Bloomington, worked on a project in Rochester, Minnesota. And I was infatuated with this marketplace, Iowa City, Coralville, to find the right property to do it in. I was happy I focused on Coralville because we really want to bring a non-student property that had all these benefits, these amenities, into the community. I think it's unique. Ann Arbor, Michigan, which I went to school in, has many of these projects. So it's a project that other communities have. I think it'll be special for the city of Coralville. All the amenities in the clubhouse, how it works is 24/7 access. They're no longer leasing centers. They're true clubhouses. You can go pick up your package at 2 in the morning if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor. You can use the fitness room 24/7. You can use the yoga room 24/7. The yoga and fitness room actually has on-demand classes you can take. You can reserve the room for you and your friends and say, let's go work out together and take a class. So this is high-tech, open 24/7. And again, the dog parks, which are special, the cost is actually about $75,000 to $100,000 dog park. It's all synthetic grass, never gets muddy. People love it. So these are all the types of amenities that I think people are looking for. And it's all presented into this package and into this community. So that's just basically the synopsis of what we're doing, and we're excited where it's at, and I think it's a great location for it. So
Mark, could you speak to the phasing of the project?
we're moving dirt this fall. I don't know how far we'll get along, get done. But we're moving dirt. It probably will settle. We'll basically start construction next spring. The clubhouse will be delivered in December 2020. First buildings that should be delivered in that February, March, April. And then we're looking basically to phase the first 6 buildings will be phased over that entire year. So that's the first phase of it. And then the second phase will be delivered the year after or potentially 2 years later. So that's what we're looking in terms of the phasing of it.
Great,
So,
thank you.
and besides the clubhouse, all the amenities, all that stuff will be completed by like April, May, hopefully sooner if the weather complies, but the clubhouse amenities, all that stuff will be done by basically March, March 2020. So,
Super. Council have any other questions, comments?
Just my comment, it's nice to hear that the clubhouse is first on the agenda and not, years later.
oh yeah, well, that's
That
our,
will be-
that's our leasing tool.
Yeah.
So that's why people,
Asset.
I mean, that's the main reason why this is unique and why people will want to live here. So
And they're all lease, or can they purchase to buy?
it's all 100% leased, and no individual units. It's not designed as a condominium project. It's just purely designed as apartments. So basically, we consider it one phase as a project. And, that's where the size of it, the 350 units, we always look for 250 to 350, so you can support the clubhouse, the amenities, the pool, and have those amenities for the residents.
And I like that it's dog-friendly.
Super dog friendly. It's as friendly as you could be.
It's good.
So what's also, we've done these before. The dog park, if you see, not only is a dog park there, right adjacent to it is fire pits and bocce court areas. So literally people will be out there playing, they're watching their dog, play as well. So it becomes a very social atmosphere where people really get out and they socialize, and it becomes a very, community, we call it like sophisticated social living. And, that's what it creates. So about 40% to 50% of all the people have dogs.
Looks like a really nice swimming pool area as well. So.
Yep, it's a really good size. It will have stairs on one side, a ledge on the other side, very spa-like. He doesn't have any pictures of older ones, but it looks like a Ritz-Carlton pool. So we do the blue chairs and the tables, and it's nice.
Great.
So it'd be heated as well, the pool. So it's it's set up for use as long as we can during the season. So.
Super. Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak to us tonight on this project? Any written comments?
No, Rich.
Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing. And item D is we moved item D, didn't we?
Yeah, we're working on the final details of the documents for the subdivision, so everything will be ready for approval at the next meeting.
Okay. Very good. I think we're all very positively inclined. So thanks for coming. Safe travels back to Chicago tonight.
Thank you.
Item 6 is Lot 7, Coral Ridge Commerce Park, Phase 7. This is the final plat for a commercial lot for the future development located 2 lots south of Wheaton Road and west of Cross Park Road. Jim, would you like to give us a report?
I think you'd said it all, John. Mayor. Actually, yeah, it is. It's about 2 lots south of Wheaton Road. It will access off of Cross Park Road. As everything is, it's all commercial out there, so this is for future commercial development. We don't know at this time what kind of commercial development that will be, but it will be commercial development. This was also on P&Z and recommended for approval by a 4-0 vote.
Okay, thank you. Item C, I consider the resolution. Don?
Resolution approving the final plat for Lot 7, Coral Ridge Commerce Park, Phase 7, Coralville, Iowa, is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Foster absent. Item 7 is the Bluffs at Brown Deer. This will be the second consideration of an ordinance that will change the land use to medium-density residential for the 6.55 lot north of Country Club Drive and west of First Avenue. Ordinance?
Ordinance number 2019-1014, an ordinance amending the Coralville Community Plan to reflect certain property generally known as the Bluffs at Brown Deer, Coralville, Iowa, to be designated medium-density residential use in place of park public use. It's introduced for adoption, second consideration by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
The ordinance passes its second consideration, all ayes with Foster absent. Item 8 is the amendment to Chapter 22 of the Library Board of Trustees. This is also the second consideration of this ordinance. It basically just formalizes the practice that's been going on since 2005, allowing a resident of the county to serve on the Coralville Library Board.
Ordinance number 2019-1015, an ordinance amending section 22.03 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Coralville, Iowa, which allows the appointment of a resident of unincorporated Johnson County to be a member of the Library Board of Trustees. Introduced for adoption, second consideration by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Passes its second consideration with Foster absent. Now I'd entertain a motion to collapse the second and third readings of this
So
ordinance.
moved.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Dodds. Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Okay, let's do that passes all ayes with Foster absent. Let's do the third reading, Don.
Ordinance number 2019-1015, an ordinance amending section 22.03 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Coralville, Iowa, which allows the appointment of a resident of unincorporated Johnson County to be a member of the Library Board of Trustees. Introduced for adoption, third and final consideration by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Foster. Discussion?
Well, gross.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, down that end anyway. Gross. Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
I think I got to make up for that. Third and final passes all ayes with Foster absent. I was getting ready to say that. Okay, item number 9 is workforce housing tax credit. This is for a 4-story mixed-use building with underground parking at 570 First Avenue, which has increased the number of residential units from 39 to 51 since it was originally filed.
Resolution of support for a change in the application of the Riverview Plaza Investments LLC for funding via the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program and pledging city monies for the same is introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
By Gill. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Passes all ayes with Foster absent. Item 10 is the drug and alcohol policy changes. This is a resolution that revises the city's drug and alcohol policy to bring it into compliance with the U.S. Department of Transportation mandated amendments.
Resolution approving revisions to the city's drug and alcohol policy, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes with Foster absent. Item 11 is our annual urban renewal report.
I would make a motion to approve and accept the annual urban renewal report for fiscal year 2019.
Moved by Dodds, seconded by
Second.
Goodrich. Any discussion? Just a motion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it passes unanimously with Foster absent. Item 12 is financing. This is a resolution that the city is required to do to determine whether it will appropriate funds for bond payment by December 1st of each year.
Resolution appropriating payment of certain annual appropriation debt service instruments and directing the finance officer to certify tax increment financing debt to the Johnson County Auditor, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion. Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Passes all ayes with Foster absent. I don't think Councilmember Gross is going to second anything anymore.
Protesting.
Okay, item 13, Interfund TIF funds, or TIF loans, I'm sorry. This is a $75,000 advance for financing projects from the Oakdale Urban Renewal Area Tax Increment Revenue Fund.
Resolution authorizing internal advance payable from Tax Increment Revenue Fund for Urban Renewal Project costs, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
second by Dodge. Any discussion?
Yeah, I had a question on this one, actually. And I didn't, and no offense, Tony, I didn't get your memo either. I mean, I got it, I just didn't understand it. As far as, is this something we've done before? Is this a normal practice? So this is just, okay. I just don't remember ever doing this or,
We actually do this each year, and, excuse me, it's, we use these two amounts, and item 13A and 13B are for the two TIF districts, the Oakdale in the case of A, and 12th Avenue in the case of B. We used to do 3 resolutions because we did one for the Mall First Avenue combined TIF. And we use these funds for certain itemized expenditures that are TIF eligible in each of the TIF areas. And so it's called an interfund loan. And what we do is we create, for a TIF expenditure, you have to create what's called an obligation. So this is really creating a debt that the general fund owes the TIF fund, and using TIF money for those eligible expenses.
that makes sense. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. And why are we not doing the third one anymore?
That TIF released in FY19.
Okay.
And so we stopped doing that for that reason.
Okay, good reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes with Foster absent. Item B is the same thing for the different zone, for the 12th Avenue Urban Renewal Area.
Resolution authorizing internal advance payable from tax increment revenue fund for urban renewal project costs, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Megan Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gill. Discussion. Roll call.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes with Foster absent. Item 14 is Biscuit Creek Restoration Project. This is an agreement for engineering services to assist the city in investigating restoration and flooding issues along Biscuit Creek and identifying future proposals. Don?
Resolution approving a professional services agreement with Emmons and Oliver Resources for the Biscuit Creek Restoration Project, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gill, seconded by.
Second.
Ooh, that was nice harmony there. Seconded by Dodds. Discussion?
Yeah, this project will be obviously looking at the Biscuit Creek, and we would be eligible for grants through the Clear Creek Watershed Program, and so that's where we would hope to receive funds once we've completed this. But this also ties directly into the housing discussions that we've had in that whole neighborhood north of Coralville Central, because that's one of the areas that we've targeted for housing rehab and housing restoration, and those neighborhoods are affected directly by Biscuit Creek. And so we hope to, in the combination, before we start the housing projects, find ways that we can make improvements from this standpoint. And it would not only obviously benefit the housing projects that we want to do, but also the neighborhood as a whole.
Good project.
Yep, sounds good. Anything else? Roll call.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes with Foster absent. Item 15 is a lease amendment with Wine Styles that wants to exercise its option to extend their lease until January 31st, 2025, and they will also add 846 square feet to their leasable area.
Resolution approving an exercise of option and amendment to lease agreement with WSTS LLC, doing business as Wine Styles, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
He's feeling better. Seconded by Gross. Discussion. Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes with Foster absent. Item 16 is the amendment to development agreement, which is sets dates for the completion of various unfinished items, both inside and outside the building on the southeast corner of First Avenue and East 7th Street, otherwise known as the Latitude Project.
Resolution approving a second amendment to the development agreement with Latitude at Iowa River Landing LLC. It's introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second. Seconded by Gill. Phew. Discussion?
Yeah, they've ordered the permanent light fixtures and everything will be coming in December and January. So all the lighting improvements on 7th Street will have to be done by end of February. And then the rest of the items will be done by May 1st of 2020 that are outside. They are still working, looks like landscaping and, getting some stuff on the exposed foundation. So making progress and we're almost done
So
here.
that'll be it.
Okay.
That'll be it. May 1st of
Everything
2020.
done.
There's some stuff on the inside too that needs to be done. So,
Very good.
Okay. Anything else? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes with Foster absent. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented or amended.
Move to approve the consent calendar, items A through P inclusive.
Second.
Moved by Gill, seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
The consent calendar is approved, all ayes with Foster absent. City Administrators Report.
Yes, just a couple of things. First of all, just wanted to remind people to watch their mailboxes because the new Coralville connection is out and has lots of information in there, including one of the things they talk a lot about is snow removal, what order streets get cleaned, all of those kinds of things. And so just take special attention because there's a lot of good information for our residents. And then also remind everyone that the Isle of Lights is on December 8th here in Coralville, and there's activities throughout the community. The Johnson County Historical Museum, here at Coralville City Hall, over at S.T. Morrison Park, at a couple of local churches. So a lot of great activities. Encourage people to come out for that. And then also United Way will be having a celebration for their 100th anniversary that night over in S.T. Morrison Park. So lots of things to do and see and participate in a lot of fun family activities. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Kelly.
Oh, one thing, I just also wanted to remind people, in December, we will be having our second city council meeting is on December 17th. So just remind people that that is happening on the 17th.
Okay, very good. Mayor's report. You covered much of what I was going to mention, Kelly, but I think in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I just wanted to express my thanks for many things, and the privilege of being the elected mayor to serve this great city. Thankful for the incredible team I have up here at the council table with me, incredible staff far and wide in this city. It's what makes this city so great, and just grateful for all the citizens and the businesses that call Coralville their home. There's a lot to be grateful for, and of course, family too. So. City Attorney's Report.
I'd like to, in part, echo your wish for everyone having a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And hopefully Kevin will be able to drive coming back from
From Minnesota.
Minnesota. You got anything, Betty?
No.
Okay, very good. Committee and council members report. I owe it to you, Mitch, to go first.
Thank you. On a joking note, I see that Kevin must not have realized who won the football game a couple weeks ago, as he's still wearing a red tie. No, actually, I guess side note, I did want to give a shout out to the family of Donna Epley. Donna passed away about a month ago, but her memorial services this week, and Donna and her husband Lloyd, they're past grand marshals of our Fourth Fest parade, but were just real major pillars of our community, and did a lot for our city from a whole host of different organizations. So I just wanted to wish Donna a peace and her family well wishes. That's all I've got, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mitch. Tom?
Thank you, Mayor. Last 4 or 5 years, I've participated in the fire department's Adopt a Hydrant program.
Yes.
And it's a great program. It's not a lot of work. You just go out there where there's a hydrant next to you and you clean it up. And that's with the snowstorms that come, that it helps the city a lot, well, because if we have a fire, we don't want to be searching for hydrants. So if you're interested in adopting a hydrant, contact the fire department. And that's all I have. And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Jill?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to remind everyone that the community meal is coming up on December 6th from 5 to 6:30. It's going to be a spaghetti dinner. There'll be both meat and vegetable options, fresh fruit and sides from local produce around the area. Then, as Kelly said, the Isle of Lights coming up. We wanted to talk about the United Way 100-year anniversary. You can write your family wishes for the community on lanterns, and there's going to be a lantern release at 6 o'clock, which should be very beautiful. The winter activity guide comes out December 4th, and registration starts December 7th. And then I just was going to remind people about hydrants, but Tom covered it. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
You bet. Lori?
City Circle is performing the family musical Annie the first 2 weekends in December. So get your tickets now, and happy Thanksgiving.
Very good. Anything from the clerk? Okay. Very good. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session. Discuss strategy with council to discuss the purchase of sale of particular real estate, only where the premature disclosure would be reasonably expected to increase the price that the governmental body would have to pay for that property or reduce the price the governmental body would receive for that property pursuant to section 21.5J of the Code of Iowa.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Dodge, seconded by Gill. Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Gill.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Okay, passes all ayes with Foster absent. We'll adjourn to executive session and come back to reconvene and adjourn the meeting.